So the next part we're going to move on to is ChatGPT for writing. So again, this is a creative prompt. We're not asking for something that exists, and this is not piecing together like an article that's already out there. That's not how it works. It'll actually write something new pretty much every time you give it the same prompt. So a lot of times it'll give you a different output. So it's not copy and pasting. This is not like some kind of plagiarism, although, some people, there is a big debate on, this was trained on the whole internet and there's an ethics debate. So that is something to consider. And I'm not an expert on that. How this can be used and the copyright and all of these things are still up in the air. Although many companies right now are already using these tools commercially. So that's really all I can say about that. It's hard to know exactly which direction, but my feeling is that intellectual property is what's going to be compared against. So if it's copying too much for something, then it could have a problem. But in my experience, it is a unique result. It is new. So here's the writing. Write me 2-paragraph essay comparing the Bible and the Quran, highlighting the differences. What do we get? Pretty good. If we actually read this, I'll read it real quick. I'll just read the second paragraph. One of the main differences between the Bible and the Quran is the respective authorship and histories. The Bible is a collection of texts that were written over a period of 1,000 years by a diverse group of authors, including prophets, kings, and scholars. The texts were written in Hebrew, Aramaic, so maybe not Arabic, but not sure, and Greek, and compiled to the form we know today over the course of many centuries. In contrast, the Quran was revealed to the Prophet Muhammad over a period of 23 years, written down by his followers. So we have this really good result that is understanding what we're asking. Compare the Bible and the Quran, highlighting the main differences. It's looking at the two and finding the significant differences. Another significant difference, the focus of each text. So that's really, really crazy if you start to think about what the implications of this technology are. And that's something that's also really interesting to think about. If we think about multiple data points as if, let's say the Bible and the Quran are 2 data points, and we want to say compare those 2 things. How many comparisons can we make? Can we compare 3 or 4 data points? Can we combine 4 or 5 different concepts into one? So that's a really interesting to think about things, is it can derive relationships between either adjacent concepts or concepts that are very far apart from each other. You could say, what are the similarities between a piece of wood and a fish? And maybe that wouldn't be obvious to a human, but it could find those similarities. And so that might be a really interesting way to do sort of divergent and creative thinking, is to make those relationships between things, not only just spitting out search results. And so writing, this is a more of a historical kind of an essay type of writing, but we can do many types of writing. We'll get more into those types of business writing and contracts and multiple ways we can expand. But this is just introducing the concept, just to get our feet kind of in the water here. So we'll continue on, and hopefully you guys can experiment as well. Try writing something in ChatGPT. Try having it write something, maybe something you know about, to see if that information is accurate or how detailed can it go. Take that writing and say, hey, can you be a little bit less descriptive or more visually descriptive? Experiment with it. And the style of writing, you could say, write in the style of this person or this person, see if it's recognizable to you. Or write in the style of a New York Post news article, and you'll see that it kind of mimics that type of language. So those are all interesting things to start to think about.